Hello, this is the Aftermarket Report with Vegas and Jim. Today's date, January the 9th, 2019. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also ring the bell so you can get our future updates. And I'm going to turn this right over to Miss Vegas.
Okay, well, hello everyone. What an interesting day today. It was kind of an interesting morning, and oil did a good thing today, moved up quite well. And as a result, we saw some action on SAEX, which we will be talking about. We'll be talking about SLS, NBEV, KNDI, and UXIN. So let's first talk about SAEX. Well, I got to tell you, a lot of people, like I've mentioned in a previous video a while back, bag holding the stock. This actually would have probably been a really strong buy when it was under $2. I recall someone had messaged me a while back, just before Christmas, and asked, what do you think of the chart? And I said I wouldn't touch it. And, the reason was because the day that he asked, I think the person was thinking to swing trade the stock, but it was I think at the time, like in the 220s. And you know what? Had he have bought the stock at that time, the stock actually pulled back like 35 cents. So based on his inquiry that day, that was the right answer to give him. However, when this did pull back below $2, that was probably a good opportunity. And I'm sure there's probably people that did probably take advantage of that, but it had a nice run today. So I'm going to let Jim talk about it because the low of the day was $2.30. So let's hear all about it, Jim, on SAEX and running after hours too.
Yep, there's the website of SAEX. I'm going to pull up the yearly chart first. We had some pretty good highs up here. It's been on a downhill climb. Had a pretty hard sell-off right here. So we hit that low of 182, and then right after hours we popped up. And we're bouncing around at 410 right now. So I'm going to pull up the 20-day. You see how let's see if I'm going to pull up the 3-month here. How it just kind of ran down and just kept going down, 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 down. And here we are at the 372 level at close. So after hours, we called this right out of the morning when we had the golden cross here. And it bounced. I said, this is going to be a good one today. Then we had the big old jump on it this morning. Then it really took off. Bounced up to about 406. And then it pulled back and hit that 50 SMA. And as it started going up, it climbed up and broke out again, busted past that 406 to a new level of 422, which was on my extended trend lines. And what's neat about this stock, I called the pullback on it to the 200 SMA right here. You can see the 50 started to cross down. And then it went ahead and followed that up and hit that 100. Once it hit that 100, it consolidated and pulled back down and went under. Then it hit that support level. So I called this little channel in here in the room. It's at 323, pivot point around 337 to 350. Well, it never did go on down. It just went ahead and kept on bouncing up to that 350 from that 337. And then it finally dipped on down to that 323. See right there? So it started playing the lower half of that channel, which was a pivot point around 337. And then all of a sudden it dipped down to my low support that I had here. I drawed from this line right here where it hit that 50 SMA. That's where I went ahead and drawn that line. And then later on in the evening, we had a double bottom right there, which is a confirmation for it to bounce up. As it started doing that, the 50 SMA started moving up over the 100 and over the 200, create another golden cross after hours. Then right after hours, it popped up from 350. And one of the ladies in the room said, I said, when'd you get in that at? And she said, oh, I got in at 310. I said, you must have been listening to me. And it ran all the way back up to that 422 after hours. So I was really tickled that she got in that play. And then here after hours, we touched the 50, and it's kind of hovering around 414. Now, we just want you to be a little cautious with this stock. And but the trade was just a real easy call today. And I'm going to pull up the 10-day just to have one little final say about it. Here we go. I mean, we broke out today and we hit a double top. We had 3 white soldiers here after hours on a 30-minute. and we're at 414 right now after hours. If it pulls back, you could look for 372 support, and I'd like to see that hold. If that doesn't hold, it's going to go down farther. But let's see what happens when we get in the room tomorrow. We want it to break the 422 area, and that's SAEX. And the next one Vegas alerted today, and that's SLS. Go ahead.
Yeah, so SLS, that one there, we've kind of had this at one time and then got stopped out, just because got to honor your stop losses. But SLS here, I did notice here that there was some news, but that news wasn't from today. This news actually was from yesterday, and I guess based on the chart too, definitely looked like the stock was going to start crossing the 50-day, and then that attracted probably some technical traders. But they did mention yesterday that I think I've already talked about this yesterday, that they achieved all their milestones since they became a public company. Like I did mention SLS yesterday. So I did mention yesterday that this was probably going to have a continuation today. And you know what? Those of you that did take the idea and remembered to probably look at the chart today and look to trade it, did well. So SLS performed as per yesterday's video commentary.
They have a pretty good little pipeline here too. I'm looking at
Yeah.
real interesting pipeline, and they got a lot of things going projects going on. FDA approved here with the phase 3 on 2 of them. So this could be something that you want to keep on watch, definitely. So I'm going to pull up the year's chart on it. We had every stock this year, it pulled back. Last year in 2018, we had a low of 80 cents. It bounced on up into this little channel here and pulled on back. I know this is kind of fuzzy right here, but I'm just letting you know that we had an 80 bottom. Then it kind of hit a resistance around $2, pulled back to the low support of 112, and here we are today at 166 after hours, where it closed at. I'm going to pull up the 20-day. Look at it real sweet. Here we hit that 113 low, and I do love that number, 113, 115. But I'm looking at a 118 support right here. And I'm going to go ahead and draw that in here real fast, so I'll have it here. 117 looks good to me. It's bounced on up. It's had about a 2-week run, and then today it had the breakout. We could probably chase it up to about 174, but what I'd like to see is another pullback here, maybe tomorrow about midway to 150, and I'm going to go ahead and make that 150 my pivot point, which is going to be a support. You see how it hit the high there and pulled back. So let's see if we can get this back down to that 150 area. If it gets down there, you might have you a good little bargain for 10-15 cent scalp, and maybe something that you want to keep on a core position. Do your homework. Read up on the charts, read up on the fundamentals of it, and you take it from there. This is SLS, and I'm liking it right now. I think we're due for a pullback to 150. CGC.
All right. Well, looks like marijuana stocks are back.
Yep.
So, there's no news for me to report on CGC or NBEV, as a matter of fact. But I will turn it over to you just talk about these charts, because obviously the pot plays are heating up again. Saw some phenomenal action on CGC. I think there's a great opportunity here for swing trade or option calls. And I think with NBEV, same thing, because what I noticed on NBEV is that it's been coiling for quite some time, and it looks like it's making a new channel. But I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about those two beautiful charts.
Well, you know how I am. I love it, this sector most of all. It's one of my favorite sectors right now, and we ran it for about 2 or 3 months, and it kind of pulled back at the end of the year. I'm thinking CGC and along with Cron and along with NBEV are going to be probably my top 3. Tillery, TLRY, are going to be my top 4 stocks, and I'll repeat them one more time. CGC, NBEV, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Cron, which has had its breakout and still working on it. Big thing with Cron. And Tillery, which I think is a high dollar stock, but I want to see it get back to 100. So I'm going to pull up the CGC CGC chart. It's just like I said it. Couldn't say it any clearer. We called this in the room right around $26, $25.75, $26.22. I tell in the room we had a triple bottom with a low of $25.11. This could be a buy. You're going to take it to 33, and look what happened today, $33.75. And this is what I told the room. I said, don't be surprised if this gets to 33 in a matter of a couple of weeks, maybe sooner, because I'm very bullish in the year of 2019 on the market and on China too. I think we're going to have a little rebound in China this year, so prepare your watch list. So I've got a target on this thing to $40 to 45. I'm going to pull up the 3-month chart just to show you what I'm looking at. We had a high of $60 almost right here, and ever since then we had a pullback to right where we are right now, which is to me a pivot point on this chart, which was a support because it bounced on up here to 46.32. So I think we can run up and hit this moving average of 39 to 40 bucks in a matter of a week, maybe 2 weeks. Any kind of pullback will be healthy on this stock. This is a wonderful trade. There's a beautiful call down there at 26. And the next one, and Cron, and keep Tillery on watch, TLRY and Cron. And Vegas wants to discuss NBEV. That'll be the next one we're going to talk about, NBEV.
Yeah, so I mean, all I wanted to just mention, which I said, to everyone that likes NBEV and has been watching this chart. I mean, we've been following this very closely. Definitely have to say that NBEV's been coiling, and it looks like it's finally going to start coming into a new channel. But Jim, what are your thoughts about that analysis of the chart?
I've been going through the product line on NBEV here, and they just keep scrolling down, and it never stops. And I definitely want to order me some of these products for a little bit. Healthy living, and that's what I believe in. Healthy living, what you put in your body is how you treat your body, is how healthy you can be. And that's been one of my lifetime thingamajiggers. So NBEV, we've had this little channel. I'm going to pull up the 20-day. And we've been bullish on this for what, 6 months now? Something like that. Where's the 3-month here? Oh, I do have it on 3-month. Look at the 20-day. So we had this nice little breakout to about $7. It pulled back and hit my little support, which was right around 560. Bounced on back up, had to triple top. Now we had a real hard sell-off when the market sold off there at the last of December. And we were calling it in the room under $5 is a strong buy. Well, from that $5, we bounced up. I had a resistance here at 561, and my other resistance was right around 607. But we needed to break this 561 to really amount to anything. And you can see the ascending wedge as it goes up the trail here. Perfect little trend line. I mean, a little bumpy ride, but this is just an opportunity. The stock that likes to pull back a little bit and then likes to retrace a new high. So we broke out of that channel, which was very important to me today, and that was at 562. After it broke it, we ran on all the way up to $6. And you see right here on this line where that resistance is, which was an old support. See how it made that V and then had the hard sell-off? So that became a resistance right there. So maybe a pullback is healthy for this to at least 588. I'd like to see it start a new channel. I'd like to see it start a new channel and then carry up. I'm not saying it's going to be a monster breakout, but I am saying this is one that you can scalp and swing at the same time with a small core position. And that's NBEV. So
Okay, and as we're talking, I just mentioning here, looks like SAEX is breakout.
Uh-oh.
The high of day today was at 430, and we keep tapping 430 and looking for the break. This is a live commentary.
Live.
So
look at that, a double top right
we
there,
did
Vegas.
talk about this today in chat tonight.
This is a triple top.
Yeah, this is right. This is the third one.
Yep.
Yep. There was one just just shy after hours, and then there's one earlier this morning before 12 noon. There was it hit 430. So this is a triple top where it's hit 430 3 times.
So if it doesn't break this triple top, it can pull back a little bit. I'm looking
Yes.
at maybe the 407 or maybe here around the 372 area. And I think I
Ooh,
mentioned that
wow.
372 earlier.
You did.
So,
Yeah.
and these are the, I'm going to repeat those four pot stock tickers, and then we got a special, we got another one we're going to talk about, and then we got a bonus. The CGC NBEV, Cron, and Tillery, TLRY, are my four favorite ones. The next one, Vegas, is a car company.
Yes. So, KND I was going to say Y, but
I.
because I'm busy watching SAEX at the same time. So, KNDI, that company there, let me just pull it up here. So they did have news. So, they did have the news today that the company has a joint venture with Candy Vehicles, Geely Group, and each company obviously owns 50%. They also did mention that, remember, I think I mentioned this too about the Vehicle Cleanup Regulations Act 2017. So they're going to be working on the investment project, which was suspended, which actually had impacted their operations at one time until the auto regulation was issued afterwards to replace the original announcement. Anyhow, so the company did actually have good news. They got the approval. It comes out to about $14.5 million to proceed. So that's great news for the company. And we can see probably some more action probably on this stock as we start to see that it's in a nice channel. And I really still like, when I looked at the chart actually today, I was actually liking it even for a continuation. So, Jim, what do you think? Because it did look to me that the stock was overbought, but I think it's got some good support now here
Yep.
for potential continuation. But certainly, I'd like you to comment on that sexy chart there, actually.
Yeah, I seen a little pattern when it gets overbought. We had this overbought back in September, where it just ran up real hard and then pulled back a little bit and then continued on up about 5 or 6 days later. So we kind of have the same kind of candle forming right now as I see right here. This situation right here with the three white soldiers on a daily. Then it pulls back, and then we had another three white soldiers. Then it pulls back, and then today it's just been solid green lineup here in the last week and a half. So like she said, it can pull back a little bit, maybe around 510. But one thing, and I also want to bring up that last month of the year in December, China wanting to crack down on a lot of putting regulations on gasoline cars, and I think this might have helped the little boost on this company here, along with NIO. So this is like the sister to NIO right now, NIO, and it started to move a little bit today too, and it's at the resistance that I had. And I'm just going to mention that real fast. Let me pull up the daily chart on this, and I'll speak of NIO just for a second. But here we come out of the gate. We had the golden cross right in the morning, first thing, the 50 on the daily 1 minute. It ran up and it just kept buffing up against that 50 all the way up. Every time it hit the 50, it'd bounce up. And then we had a little tightening of the 50 and the 100, kind of consolidated a little bit. Then we had the big breakout again up to 563. Now we pulled back into a little wedge, a little downward wedge, which is probably setting up for another breakout tomorrow. So I like to get this thing back up to 561. We had a high of 563. I don't want to see it pull back too much. If it does pull back, look at around 524 for a support level. Repeat that, 524 for support level on KNDI for a retracement back up. I like to see this wedge break out. And then just for a second, I'm going to show you in the NIO chart.
Oh my, sorry.
Go ahead.
SAEX is ripping 463.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Your bag's going to be happy on this one.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be. We'll see about that.
Yep. So we're up. I mean, one of the girls in the room got in here at 310, and I know she's jumping for joy.
She
I asked,
sold. She sold already.
did she?
She mentioned she sold. Yeah,
Well,
she
she
sold
did
at four
well
twenty
then.
four.
She did very
She did
good.
great. Yeah.
Okay, so we were going to talk about Nile again. I'm going to bring up Nile real fast. We're off the fly here, so anything can happen when you're hanging out with Vegas and Jim on the aftermarket report. So we had a low yesterday, Nile, here at 616. They're at my little resistance level. And I had this 660. I'm going to pull up a 20 day, show you what I'm looking at, make it real fast here. Been playing this channel here. I called this triple bottom down here at 5.8, 592. 592, and I said it's time to buy this sucker, and it ran all the way up to my 660 resistance that I had, which was a previous consolidated period. Pulled back again to that $6 level, which I told everybody in the room, load up. Hit that 660 again, pulled back to the 618, and then here we are back at the 660 with a looks to me like maybe a pennant flag getting ready to break out to go higher. If not, it can pull back a little bit to this 50 SMA, and I'm going to pull that up on a daily because that's where I kind of pull that, where I call that off of. So yeah, I say the pullback would be right around 650 if I wanted to pull back any at all. But I want to see this thing to break out. I really want to see it start to move in 2019. I want to see it get at least 100% out of it. So the last one, the bonus play of the day, is one that Vegas and I called at a very bottom at one time. Vegas, you want anything to say about it?
Actually, you know what? You might want to talk about DCIX. I'm just watching it run too
Uh-oh.
on Diana container ships. Maybe you want to check that quickly.
Ugh.
I know. I throw you off.
DCIX. We had tops run yesterday from 85 cents all the way up to 130. And we had a dries. We were talking about dries. And here we are talking about DCIX right now after hours. Ran from 80 cents all the way up to 122. And I've already got this charted up, so I don't need to do any homework on it. I'm going to pull up the 20 day. Oh my, look at that. If anybody's in this stock, take your profit now, please.
Oh my God, really?
Yep. If you got
Well,
in it
I
down
hope
here at
they
80
take.
cents, that's a 40 cent bounce.
Yeah, if they got in, sure. But probably people seeing this now running and they're going, "Oh, I might trade it," but I don't know.
Uh, to each their own.
That's right. Everyone has different trading styles and strategies.
But we're
You
way
know,
past the gap.
no one trader is the same.
No,
Everyone's different.
this is a 3 month chart. So,
Hmm.
when you're up 40 cents on a penny stock, I'm taking profit, or I'm going to scale
Absolutely.
out. Because this 111 was the hard resistance. And we're up here now at the 130 level, 122 level, which we can bounce up a little bit more to maybe 131. But, I just, yeah, good call there, Miss Vegas. And the last one we're going to talk about, and no more, I hope. I mean,
No,
it's like this all day long with us.
yes,
We can hit one.
UXIN.
I can trade. We can trade anything or I can give you a call on any stock you give me.
You
So
got a crystal ball.
I got a crystal
So,
ball.
UXIN.
It's another China play. Another.
That's one of yours that you've been following and trading, and today it had a pullback. People traded it.
Yep. And this is a wonderful company, but it cracked down. Like I said, that China's going to start cracking down on gasoline automobiles. So this one pulled back, but before they come out with that news, I'm going to show you what we did with this baby. We called this sucker down here at 281. Vegas and I did. And I said, Vegas, I said, we got a bottom here. Then all of a sudden, that next day, we had the big breakout. And the breakout went from 281 all the way up to 490. And I just was there wasn't much running at this time. At the end of the year, everything else was going down, but this thing was going up. And I mean up. And it ran from all the way from that place where we called it $3 all the way up to almost hit 10. And then we had a little V right here, and then all of a sudden we had the hard sell-off when that Chinese news came out. So I'm still bullish on this stock again. We called it in the room today at 319, and I said it's at least going to go to 330. And if it goes past that 330, you might see 340, and then you could see that 350 area. Well, I'm going to pull up the daily chart, and I got out of it by this time. I was having a little bit of issues with one of my platforms, and just kind of threw me off, and I don't like to trade when I've been thrown off. But here we are. We touched back down. What's so good about my trend lines is just history repeats itself, and I just try to beat that down with everybody. You know, I don't like history to be stolen. I like for it to repeat. In life, history always repeats itself. And then there's always things that happen for the first time, and it never stops. So here we go. We bounced off at 336. We hit that pivot point at 350. And then we hit the resistance at 365, and it ran all the way to 374. And I was asked in the room if I was going to swing it, and I said, no, I'm going to go ahead and scalp this sucker all the way up like I did before. So we're right now after hours. We closed at 355, and after hours we're right around 357 right now. So this is one to keep on watch. This is the bonus stock that I really like. I think I did good by calling at 319 today, that low. It was mentioned in the room, and when it was mentioned, I was already on watching it. I had it on my watch list every day, just waiting for the opportunity. And so here we go, after hours, 374. Now we're at 357, and that's UXIN. And then we'll leave the rest up to Vegas here, and then I'll do the closing. Anything you'd like to talk about?
No, I just want to mention that, we did a lot of scalping today on some of these stocks, especially like with SAEX because of the float being so low. And there were so many opportunities to trade this up and then make money on the way down and then again back on the way up. We also had a really good trade with high max option calls. People bought those yesterday for 10 to 15 cents and are doing quite well with the return on it. I think they were up, some people told me 100%. So that was great to hear based on their entry. I think some people got in at 11 cents and they're up 100%. So that was good to help those with a smaller account. And, sometimes if you like to scalp, I mean, Jim's a great scalper. So you're welcome to come check out the room, come by and visit. And also want to thank everyone that actually participated in the webinar that was hosted by Patrick yesterday, Kiko, and I got really good feedback from so many people that really enjoyed his sessions. So what I'm going to do for the YouTube viewers that maybe don't go on Stocktwits, maybe you're not in our room, that's fine. I will actually post yesterday's session, which was recorded. I will post it here in our in the video description. So in case you're interested to watch last night's session on how he explains what he looks for in charts and how he finds them, that would be a great video to watch and very informative. So I will put that in our information link below.
That's what makes it good about hanging with him in Vegas. They're both the fundamentalists. They do the research, and he's real good at it, and he's real strict about it. And I mean, he's got a code that he goes by, code of conduct, where, if it don't reach this criteria, he just pushes on, looks for the other one, and he finally finds the one play of the day, like I do. I like finding, but I'm a chartist guy, and I like to do the same thing. I like to find the pullbacks. I like to find, the high volume with some kind of good news behind it. So it's a good match. It'd be good for you to watch that because I learned a few things from him last night. I'm not the best at being a fundamentalist, but I'm learning. And there was one thing about this job, about teaching, is we learn from everybody. So this is the aftermarket report with Vegas and Jim. Today's date is January the 9th, 2019, and we love stocks. Vegas?
Yeah, I
love
hope everyone
stocks?
has a great night. Oh, I definitely love stocks. I think like, love's not even the word. It's almost like like, you know what it is? I don't want to say obsession. I have to just say it is a passion. And it's so true what they say. If you are passionate about something that you want to do, that you want to pursue, you don't even find that it's work. And let me tell you, this is why I love doing the and I love talking on voice during the day, because I enjoy um, looking at charts. I enjoy reading the information, researching the company, and I love, sharing commentary with people in the room. You know, everyone's a different trader, and sometimes people have an opinion on something, and sometimes we may not agree, and that's okay. That's what makes us unique traders. You know, not everyone's, you're either 50% right or you're 50% wrong, really, if you think about it, when you're trading something, because you might want to go long on a stock and someone else wants to go short. So it's going to have to go either way, right? So it is 50-50. So definitely great day with the room, and appreciate everyone's feedback. And thank you everyone for watching the videos. Really appreciate it. So please make sure to read the information in the information section under this video for that additional video in case you want to study and learn. It's great to hear Patrick speak. He's got unique techniques, and I think that a lot of you might actually like his tips. So feel free to watch it at your own leisure.
He's an OTC trader, and he also trades smaller, penny stocks. So he's good to
Yeah,
have
he trades
around.
everything. When
Yep.
OTC is not active, he's on NYSE. So
Yep.
diverse trader. So for sure.
So everybody have a good day. As I
Yeah,
posted
have
in
a
the
good night,
video,
everyone.
as I posted here, we love stocks.